So, like I was saying, um, it's important for us to note that we can't pay for training that where this is the outcome of that training, where we don't know the difference between a threat and a non-threat. And I think the officer said, "Well, she bit me, okay, but you socking her, you punching her, and it's three or four gentlemen in uniform, subject to their oath of office to defend the Constitution, the American Constitution for the United States Republic of North America," meaning they're subject to the will of the American people. This is a republic, Article 4, Section 4, and it shall be protected from invasion. So this is a constitutional violation with respect to their oath of office. This is at the level of treason. This is perjury of oath. This is violation of law and due process. If she want to burn a shirt, she can burn a shirt. Whatever she was doing, as long as it's not causing damage, harm, or threat to the safety of the public and the people and herself. Now, if this was a mental health case, which it's been alleged by the family that this is a case of mental health, a mental disorder. Which then, what does the training tells us to do? To call in backup. Backup being the caseworker, whoever the professionals are that are trained to diffuse a conflict or potential conflict or a display of dysfunctionality in the public. That doesn't warrant somebody getting punched, shocked, slammed to the ground, beat up, bruised, damaged. That's already damaged goods. Now, I stand against that because I stand on the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I'm a Republican. We support law enforcement, but the law shall be enforced on all citizens alike here at North America. If you plan on doing business at North America and you take an oath of office to serve the people, the American people, the heirs to the vast estate, this is a breach of trust. This is a breach of the public's trust and the peace, a violation of law and order. And I'm calling for an immediate termination without pay, based on what I've seen and heard the claims and allegations issued from the families and the tape, the information that's being presented. Based on the dash cam, from the angle of the dash cam, when they initiated when they first initially engaged the subject, we got to get rid of the color. We have to get rid of the color of law, which means artificial law. It's fake law. It's not even law. It's a deception. It's when you deprive an American of their secured constitutionally secured rights, their God-given rights to freedom of movement, freedom to be safe, freedom to have confidence in the public trustees that they're going to discharge their duties in accordance with the constitutional law of the land and its attachments with respect to the great peace. Whether we like it or not, that's an Asiatic. That's a Muslim. That's a Moorish American. That's descendants of Moroccans born in America. They're the heirs to the estate. And so based on what I've seen, based on the information of the presentation, and the phone call. I was sitting here with my granddaughter. The young Princess L, building my bond with her, which was such a beautiful moment. Hey, make sure y'all go to www.msta13gov.com. That's www.msta13gov.com and subscribe right now. Go to our YouTube page at Brother El-Bashaw. That's Brother El-Bashaw. That's BASHAW. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on LinkedIn. Tap in. But tonight we talking about 12:40 a.m. and so it's not even tonight. It's the new day. And this happened the other day ago. So we just get wind of the issue tonight. So let's look at. Let me get this. Let me tighten this up for y'all real quick. Get this together. Cause I'm just appalled. And I swear, I don't know if I'm downloading too much information on this computer or what, but it's definitely been very challenging in trying to navigate my system here. But nonetheless, you know what? Wow, I don't even have the picture. But here. So the mayor wrote a letter. Okay, so yeah, I want to pull this up. We're going to read the response from the mayor. I mean, this is disgusting. What these officers, excuse my language, what these men did in uniform. Okay, I don't do the racism thing. I do the law thing, the American constitutional law enforcement. And it's been enforced since 1774. And what the law says that the sister has securities that what I've seen were violated. I didn't see no grounds for her to be on the ground based on the dash cam. So let's see what the mayor has to say. So he says the video of yesterday's incident at Nevada and Franklin Street is very troubling. Based on what I have seen so far, it appears that at least one deputy used excessive and unnecessary force. I take this matter very seriously and have requested that the sheriff's office suspend the deputies who were involved pending a complete and thorough investigation. The incident also illustrates the urgent need to deploy body cameras so that we can best ascertain the full truth in situations like this in order to hold deputies accountable when they do wrong, or alternatively, to protect deputies when they are falsely accused. Although I understand that the delay in receiving body cameras is the result of the chain problems. It's the result of supply chain problems. I sent an email earlier today to Sheriff Bashard and other county officials, urging them to do everything in their power to expedite the procurement and deployment of body cameras on deputies in Pontiac. And here is the so-called president of the city council, Pontiac City Council, statement on the incident on Nevada Street in Pontiac, August 19th, 2022. And it states the following. This footage is disturbing and jarring, and there must be a thorough accounting for this incident. I support the mayor's call for the deputies involved to be suspended pending a full investigation into what occurred. This incident underscores even more why the Pontiac City Council so forcefully called for body cameras on Oakland County Sheriff's deputies serving in our community. It also brings back to the surface the sad truth about our society's current solution for residents struggling with mental illness is painfully policing. Excuse me. Let me read that back. It also brings back to the surface the sad truth about our society's current solution for residents struggling with mental illness is mainly policing, which isn't which isn't fair to those struggling residents or to the police. Pontiac residents recognize that protecting our community can be dangerous work at times, and we are grateful deputies put themselves in harm's way for us, but this sure doesn't look like an appropriate show of force to me. So that's the statement from the so-called city council president and brother Tim Grimel here, currently occupying the office of mayor for the city of Pontiac. And so, if you, yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. Um, what we have to do to get up to go to fight is all to. And so we often heard about resource officers or mental health professionals. Childs produced a number of pictures of the injuries that deputies received in the altercation. And so we often heard about resource officers or mental health professionals coming along with police trying to sort of diffuse these kinds of situations. And you may notice behind the officers in the video we showed. This is just disgusting. I am highly frustrated. I mean, for me to be up, everybody knows me. I'm a morning person. I'm up at 5, 4:30 sometimes. I'm not up at 12:47, man. For this to happen in Pontiac, the city of Pontiac, that is most disturbing. Like, I'm 38 years old. My mom served 3 terms on the school board. My stepfather served 6 terms as the city councilman of the city of Pontiac, District 7. Like, I've never seen something like this to this degree. And when it has been situations to this degree, I've seen the sheriff take action. So, let me stop that. Let me go here. Let me pull this back out of here. And we'll just take one more look at this situation and let the people be the judge. I gave my opinion, but at the same time, you know, the point of what we're doing is getting this information out, and then we have a chance to assess the information and determine, determine what we should do now as a community first. That ain't what we were looking for. There we go. Sorry about that. Some of the family members will send me the information. So we got a little bit of glimpse of their on what they was into. Let's see. Can we get something going here? And like I say, I don't know. My system is moving like a turtle. So we're trying to get some here to give us a greater in-depth look at what was taking place here. Damn, in her face too. Wow. Damn, look how they doing her. Wow. 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 This hurts the credibility of the law enforcement agency here at Oakland County. This hurts the credibility bad. Wow. Wow. Brace yourselves, Pontiac. Brace yourselves, Pontiac. Brace yourselves. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay cool. I know it's going to be hard, but it got to be some repercussions behind this kind of misconduct. This is unprofessional here, in my opinion. As a law enforcement official here at the Temple Number 13, the Moorish Science Temple of America, we are not trained to engage our people on this level. And what I mean by our people, I mean the American people in this community. The American people. And wow. This was disgusting. So we had to let the people decide about what they're looking at here. In her face, knees on her head. I mean, this is no way that they justified this. No way. And the men that was there, they was wrong for watching. There was no way that you seeing him do that and you not grabbing up on him. Yeah, this is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I seen enough here. I seen enough. I seen enough. I normally don't do episodes, but however, like that, but we got to deal with it. We got to address it. As your current precinct delegate for Precinct 18, duly elected Grand Sheik as well. I just moved up to the state convention, state delegate in the Republican Party. And the one thing that we got to restore is law and order and justice. When these principles are violated, justice then must take its course. And those principles clearly have been violated. Now, if we're going to support law and order, then we got to support law and order. There's no way you're going to tell me that woman, this lady, our sister, who's in distress, a mental distress, a mental disorder. So automatically protocol is to contact the people who are equipped, who are experts in handling these kinds of cases. You can't take brute force to our sister in our community that we have already an enormous amount of issues. What are those issues? Well, we're in a global pandemic, number one. 2, we're dealing with inflation. 3, we have pre-existing issues on the floor that has been holocaustic. This holocaustic condition already exists from years of democratic policies that has done us no good, but has stripped the very fabric of who we are away from our community. All of the assets has been drained. We're in the process of recovery and recoupment. But it's hard to recover when we're dealing with a global pandemic and on top of inflation. And then on top of everything that comes attached to that catastrophic system. In addition to the catastrophic system that's already been in place and running rampant in my community. These are the things that we've survived. The violence that's created, the living monster that's created from poverty, and poverty, which is a monster that's created from what? Lack of education. Why is these children, why is this population is dealing with that level of lack of education, lack of displacement? Islam. We have a situation here at the city of Pontiac, Houston. We have a problem. The schools haven't performed. We're dealing with multiple bankruptcies. Now we're dealing with a global pandemic and inflation and everything that comes after that. Not to mention, we had a pre-existing issue. We had pre-existing injuries, economic injuries. We've been displaced and detached from our economy. That'll cause anybody to be mentally crazy. That's what these democratic policies do. Then the sheriff is left to clean up the mess without the tools to actually not engage it with that angle, with that measure of force, but with the necessary resources that allows you to have professionals at the scene that have the capacity to defuse a situation with someone who's going through a moment of dysfunctionality, that's having a disorder in the public due to a mental health issue, which is being alleged. And so being able to identify that this is that situation, this is that moment that I need to refer to the protocol, the rules and regs. What is the policy? What is the training tells me to do? Well, let me call a mental health worker. Let me call a mental health action worker who has that ability to come in the field and say, okay, sister, calm down. How can we help you? What's wrong? What's causing this? You telling me this sister has a medical diagnosis of having a mental disorder, a medical disorder, some kind of disorder, which is, that means that she can't be held legally liable. So how is that force legal? If she can't be held medically, if she has if in fact she has a medical diagnosis for a medical disorder, she cannot be held legally liable when she's going through that disorder in the public. She needs assistance. She needs help. She's in adversity. When her sister's in adversity, assist her. Don't forsake her. Don't forsake her. Don't beat her down to the ground. Don't beat her to a bloody pulp and then tell me you trying to get control and you reverting back to your policies. That's not the policy that should be in place in the first place. When you talking about doing injury to another who's going through an injury, on top of an economic injury, on top of a public global health crisis. It's tight, it's tense for everybody. So a moment of this nature, that's what's causing conflict. That's what's giving room for stories or claims like racial claims. Oh, it's for Caucasian men in uniform. Well, the issue is it's a breach of public trust. It's a breach of the peace. That's the issue. They were operating in their lawful performance, allegedly in their lawful performance of duty. So they was acting under their oath of office. The issue is a breach of oath of office, breach of trust. Treason against the American people, war crimes. That was Nazi behavior. That's what I seen. I seen Nazis in operation pretending to be law enforcement officials employees of the sheriff law enforcement department. This company corporation doing business in the using the American tax. Mic check. Can you hear me? But they're using the American tax dollars and Americans' land, the Moorish Americans' lands to operate, but not with the intent to cause harm to the American people, but actually do the contrary, which is to actually protect and serve, be of service, understanding how to perform as a public servant, operating in the capacity of law enforcement. And the law of the land is constitutional law, supreme law, treaty law. And he or she in uniform has an oath of office to defend the American people's birthrights, which are God-given. So the moment you struck, hit, cause harm in any kind of way, shape, or form, it calls in question your oath of office, especially when these type of acts or actions, which are Islam, which are unauthorized constitutionally, you can be brought up for treason. That's treason against the American people. That's treason against their rights on their land. You don't have no authority to beat no American national down to a pulp on their own land because they having a moment of dysfunction. Wasn't nobody in danger. Wasn't no little children in danger. It wasn't nobody. It was no immediate danger. What danger? It was no danger. It was a woman, a sister in her community operating on her land with freedom in her voice, in her eyes, and whatever she was going through, it was to be taken into consideration. Not with the intent to harm, to destroy, to dominate. That's frustrating to even have to see our community on TV with that. That's not the marketing for Oakland County and the capital of Oakland County, the city of Pontiac. That's not the marketing that we need for our community. That's not what we need politically. That's what they're using to turn the people away from their birthrights. That's what's causing a divide from the people in the institutions that work for them. That's being paid by them. They go to work every day to have their taxes stripped from them to give to the public institutions for it to function the way that it's supposed to function. Not the opposite, not take my money that I'm working for, my finance, that I'm giving up my life energy for, to take it and then turn, come into my community where we reside, where we sleep, where we eat, where we build, where we grow gardens and build greater relations with nature and our community. Where we already dealing with issues, just like these young men on this camera was dealing with issues, obviously. Obviously, they wasn't having a good day. Now they come to work. They don't need the badge then if you don't have the mental fortitude to be able to process and determine and distinguish when there's a need to apply force or when there needs to apply wisdom and intelligence. You can't just know policy procedures. You also got to have some wisdom. You also got to have some intelligence. You also got to have some ability to feel out situations versus, well, let me beat up this lady because she's not listening to me. Well, maybe you're not listening either. You can't come into a community with that kind of attitude. See, now we're looking at an attitude. We're not looking at policies and procedures, because I would hope a policy and procedure did not guide you to put harm to this sister, to this true American. What I seen was rage. unprofessionalism, and opportunity for the world to view our community like it's being like it's some animals that live here. Like it's some animals that's in operation. Some wild, untamed animals. We're not in the jungle. We at the city of Pontiac, Oakland County, in the great state of Michigan, the Republic. Okay? We can't have that kind of behavior. We already got these policies which are suffocating, tragically suffocating. These democratic policies which are tragically suffocating. Now we go into this. This is what they use to say, look, then turn around and talk about defund the police. So here it is. We need everybody to do their job. We need community members to do their job. We need law enforcement members of the law enforcement sector to do their job. We need members of city council and mayors to do their job. We need members of the Senate, members of the House of Reps to do their job. We need we need the governor's office to do their job. We need the U.S. officials to do their job. We need everybody to do their job in the interest of their oath of office. First and foremost, what do your oath say? What do your oath say? Everybody got opinions. Let's talk about the paperwork that you filed at the elections office or wherever it's being stored for the record. What about your oath of office? What do your oath of office say? It said, do your job. That's what it says. Do your job. You're under contract. It's called the Constitution. American Constitution. It's titled American Constitution for the United States, 1787, ratified in 1789. Anything other than that is fraud. It's fiction. Doesn't exist. It's colorable. It's colored. That's why we don't play those black nigger games. We don't play those white games either. We're Americans. We're Americans. Some of us descend from a nation, nationals. American means aboriginal tribes that was here before colonialization. That's what it means. Webster Dictionary unabridged, 1865 to 1921. The copper tone natives, tribes, aboriginal, prior to colonialization. What does that mean? That Constitution is a contract between the representative government, public institutions, and public trust, and the private American people. And we're Moorish Americans, Moroccans. And we're at home, aboriginal, before colonialization. And so we got an issue we got to deal with. These things does not solve problems, does not make it better, does not represent progress or advancement. What this represents is that we took a step back and we got to address this issue in order to take a step forward. So I appreciate you guys joining us this evening. Make sure you visit us at www.msta13gov.com. We are going to a peaceful protest tomorrow in support for justice, in the interest of justice for the sister, this American, the American people. All institution must come under the control of the people, or if we don't, that's tyranny, it's treason. So we got to respect the will and the pleasure of the people, the bottom line. And what I just seen here on this video, it shows me clearly we have much, much more work to do. So in the name of justice, in the interest of justice, let's do what we're supposed to do in support of the American people. These young men and women that committed this act that we just watched need support. They need help. They need guidance, because obviously they were going through something that caused them to have a mental disorder. That's what we're looking at. Unfortunately, they had the advantage. They have the competitive advantage to cover theirs up with a badge. And I'm not attacking them, but you attack this sister. When you attack this sister, you attacked our community. We can't have that. We can't have you beating up on the women. We can't have you beating up on anybody. And then you're going to do it in the name of the taxpayers' money? No, that's not true. We're not going for that. You don't treat anybody else like that. When you go out and you cross Bloomfield and you cross over into Beverly Hills and you cross over into a 13-mile on country day, you cross over into Farmers and you cross over into these other multi-billion-dollar communities, you move with respect. You don't come with that crap. So don't tell me you're going to come to Pontiac with that, because we're the backbone of all these other communities. We're the fuel. We're actually providing the energy. We're actually the energy. So that's that non-degree kind of behavior is not going to be tolerated in the 21st century. It's unintelligent. We don't need. I can't go beat my son. And even though I have authority to commit such an act, what am I doing? What kind of precedent does that set? You want to rule with an iron fist? That's the quickest way to make the people turn on you. At a time when we trying to gain people to support us, we're trying to turn blue votes into red votes. We don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. We need different phone calls here. We need different kind of people making different kind of phone calls on behalf of this issue. We don't need people running around here perpetrating the fraud, talking about vote for me, and you're not going to speak loud and clear the truth about what you just seen and bear witness with our own eyes from multiple angles, the dash cam, and from a citizen's phone. And the citizens need to start understanding how to defend themselves and how to defuse the police behaving like that. Instead of just screaming, oh my God, he's punching her. Oh my God, he's punching her. Hey, man, why don't you stop? I want to call El-Bashaw now. I want to get on the phone, make a police report now on you. If you're too scared to grab his arm, shoot, we all going to have to go to jail today, man. Grab his arm, man. You can't just be punching on the sister like that, man. There's a better way to handle that, man. I can't go around just punching nobody. If my son don't comply to my order, I can't. Somebody's going to call the police on me and tell me, wow, he just punched his son multiple times. And now I'm in court. So it's impossible to say that he is some policy that permits him to use that level of excessive force and then it's justified. Nah, you terminated. You're fired. You and them for not having the will and power to stop you from punching her as they see you punching her. What the heck is wrong with you, man? What the heck is wrong with y'all? Everybody's going through something. So obviously, while she was having a mental disorder, they was having a mental disorder too. And that's the bottom line. So we're going to get out of here on that note. But that's the bottom line. What I seen was unacceptable, unjustifiable, and for that sheriff to sit up there, excuse my language, that employee of the sheriff department that's paid for by your money when it's taken out, your property and your job and everything, your taxes go to that. And therefore you're the beneficiaries. Therefore, you have a right to file a breach of trust, a treason, and a breach of oath of office and charge them X amount of millions of dollars, including but not limited to criminal charges for war crimes. That was a level of war crime. You cannot wear the badge and then display that and then don't think we're going to speak the truth. That is a violation of divine law. War crime. Crimes against the American people are war crimes. You can receive life in prison, and back in the day it was punishable by death. So they need to be happy that America has got a new attitude, but obviously we still got some lingering attitude that needs to be corrected because clearly they didn't get the memo. We are in the 21st century. We're dealing with intelligence. We don't engage every single problem with bullets, kicks, punches. That is buffoonery. We have resources here in Oakland County. What does that mean? We're one of the wealthiest counties in the world. And we will not accept top-level service, 100%. We need top level. If you can't provide me, if you cannot provide me what you claim you took an oath to provide me, then you need to step down and get out the way and get me somebody who can serve the will and the pleasure of the American people. With respect to the greater community and the Moorish American community at large. Now, I'm on the Sheriff Relations team. I actually enjoy the Sheriff of Oakland County. I think he's a very wise gentleman, very interesting gentleman, and very intelligent gentleman. And he understands the political pushback of what we just watched is going to happen. Like that's serious. And it shouldn't happen. Not on his watch. Not here at Oakland County. We have the resources. We have provided the sheriff's office with the resources. The federal government and state has provided the sheriff's office over the years to provide the professional level training that they need to provide policing services for the city of Pontiac. And so at this point, they don't have an excuse. We need a termination. We need a check for this family. And we need guarantees that this will never happen again. We need specific performance. We need guarantees that your officers, that your employees, that you're hiring are trained by the best in the world. They have proven themselves to be the best in the world. And it's on a consistent and perpetual basis. As long as you're at the helm, then I want to see next level services that I've been seeing here at Oakland County. It's got better every year. Yes, it goes through its tough times. But this situation here, we can't have that. Unless you're telling me you don't have the ability to produce exactly what the people need. We don't need violence from uniform employees paid for by the people's tax money. We don't need that. The beneficiaries don't need that. We need compliance, cooperation. We need having the ability to improvise a situation, and then also having the resources available, having the assets available, ready to deploy. And so that was the big thing. That's a big thing. Where was our assets at? These guys needed backup. They needed additional resources. They didn't understand how to handle a situation. The way they handled this sister was like she was a guy working out 6'6", that's hitting 400 or something on the weight bench, and he went and punched the officer, blew his mouth out, punched another officer, blew his eye out. So that's not what I seen the sister do to them. They come screaming out, "She bit me." Man, you punched her. She should have kicked you in your face. What are you talking about? Like, you're punching her in her face. You got your knee in her face. Then she got multiple knees on her. Like, what? That's somebody's mom. That's somebody's mom. Like, that's somebody's sister. That's somebody's auntie. That's somebody's grandmother. Why would you do that, man? Now, if I came in your community where your grandmother lived, and not I, but if that happened to you and where you live by a uniform individual that did that to your grandmother or to your mother, what would you be? What emotions would you feel? What would you go through? Like, and I think that's what being professional is all about. Having the ability to be in someone else's shoes, being a real people person, being able to adapt and to be receptive, have people come to you because they trust you, have people be willing to work with you because they trust you, because you yourself has a great intent at what you're doing to help another, because that's your job, is to help. So look, I'm gone. We're here on the hour, but this was a serious subject matter that I wanted to touch on immediately. So with that being said, we love y'all, and we praying for the families here at the city of Pontiac and all over the world. We want to continue to send y'all love and peace and happiness and freedom and all of the support that we can be here on Brother LTV. Until the next time, peace.